Le sacó las pilas.
Sí, la puso nueva.
Pero todavía no. Ah, sí. Buenas tardes.
Hola.
Good evening. So just a few announcements for today. Some of you may have seen the newsletter. Monday, July 31st at 7 p.m. we will have the Mass for the Feast of St. Ignatius at Coscuela Hall in Belén. So your families are invited, families, friends, agrupados, Coscuela Hall in Belén. If you notice, for those of you that are familiar with Belén, it's where the administrative building is. There is typically parking there, but it's been taken up because of construction, so you will park in the main entrance of Belén. Efrain is here, so those of you interested or who know somebody who is interested in a retreat, 2 more retreats this year, August 31st to September 2nd, and November 2nd through the 5th. Father Giuseppe will be visiting with us at the end of this month. He'll be staying with us here just a couple nights at La Residencia Jesus Maestro, and he's putting on a program at St. Louis Church from July 31st to August 4th. It's called 5 Nights of Fire. He's giving sort of a brief retreat in the evenings for the parish, but anybody who is willing to go, those talks will start at 7:45 p.m. And next week we'll have with us again Father Science, who will give us a círculo on the new, I think it's a motu proprio, a new instruction by Pope Francis on the 4th Avenue to sainthood. So he will talk a little bit about that, and also talk a little bit about some significant Jesuit saints. So we look forward to Father Science returning.
Are Wise invited next week?
No.
He has a catchy name. I'm just, just throwing that at you.
At the moment, we have not.
It's about a new category that came up.
No, I read it in the newsletter, like attaining singles, like that.
If you bring your wife, the main category they're going to talk about is the martyrs.
And on that note, we have Frank with us here. Frank is a good friend of Father Science, and do you want to come up and just quickly make an announcement if you will?
Thanks.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
Father Science was here last week and he'll be here next week. He's going to direct spiritual exercises at Casa Manresa from August 10th through 13th. And
In English?
it's going to be in English, but the liturgy will be the traditional Latin Mass. So we're going to be praying the traditional Latin Mass and also morning prayer, evening prayer, and night prayer, according to the old rite. So it's for men. Anybody who'd like to come, it's $240, and at Manresa, August 10th through 13th.
Thank you. Anybody?
Círculos.
Coolio.
Vamos a tener que
Daddy, come on over.
por tomorrow, además de la conferencia de hoy. El tema de hoy es la continuación de Climatic Change.
Micrófono, micrófono.
Pero mañana a las 6 de la tarde en la biblioteca de Coral Way, 9394, donde está el busto del Padre Varela. Voy a dar una conferencia que me invitó la familia de Osvaldo Payar. It's the 5th anniversary of his death, which is July 22nd. Ellos tienen una misa en la ermita el sábado. Pero esto es un panel de 4 personas. Yo voy a hacer uno, que vamos a hablar de la vida de Osvaldo, la vida de Harold Cepero, que también murió en un accidente, en el supuesto accidente, que sabemos que no fue un accidente, fue un crimen. Y yo voy a estar a cargo de la parte científica del estudio del accidente. It's the first time I do this. Yo desde el año 2014 estaba estudiando esto, toda la cuestión del carro, la mecánica, todos los principios de la física, para demostrar que eso es una farsa. Y yo nunca he dicho nada en público porque esto pertenece a la familia, pero ellos me han pedido que salga del closet. Así que...
No digas así. El accidente que está
el crimen que sale del trabajo.
Nosotros presiones.
Entonces, es a las 6 de la tarde en esta biblioteca Coraway 93-94, tiene 2 entradas y es muy preciso porque hay las elecciones andando, no puede ser en el primer piso por las máquinas de elección, so on the second floor at 6 p.m. y termina exactamente a las 8 menos cuarto. Cada panelista tiene 12, 15 minutos, ¿okay? Yo voy a ser el primero, okay? So you're invited for this event tomorrow.
We have a celebrity among us. I don't know if everybody knows that Valle was on TV tonight. So he was on TV speaking. Eduardo, why don't you tell him what you were talking about on was it Univision or whatever?
Yeah, it was.
Stand up, I can't hear you. I'm kind of old. I'm deaf.
It was Telemundo. You know, they interviewed me for 20 minutes, and I think they showed up a total of 30 seconds. But the basic question that they came to ask me was, if the administration decides to block the entry of sanctioned crude for Venezuela, would it be effective? And I answered it to him, and it's in Spanish it sounds much more correct than in English. And I said to them that there were 2 elements to the answer. Uno, la política política, y lo otro era la política económica. And from the point of view of la política política, it was the right thing to do, because you had to send a signal to these mafioso people and to tell them to cease and desist. They're not going to pay any attention, but you have to take a stand now. The question was, is it effective? And the answer, and I know this because I worked 35 years in the supply group at Exxon, and anything that happens in the oil industry, it takes 2 weeks to resolve, in the sense that prices may go up, may go down, but nothing is going to happen. And the reason is very simple. Venezuela has the option for $2 or $3 a barrel to ship the crude to Europe or somewhere else. So from the point of view of it being effective, it's not going to be effective at all. And I know many people don't like to hear that, but that is a fact of life. And that was basically, and the other thing that I did mention was the fact that it's going to hurt probably more a number of U.S. refineries that spent billions and billions of dollars back in the 1990s getting ready for heavy crude. Let's face it, in the 1990s, OPEC had quotas like now. And when you have quotas on barrels, the crude that you're going to produce is the crude that gives you the greatest amount of revenue. And that was light crude. So the projections were that by now, the world would have run out of, if not totally out of light crude, the incremental amount of crude that was going to be coming into the market was going to be heavy crude. So U.S. refineries spend billions of dollars preparing for today to run heavy crude. But there was a phenomenon that nobody saw. And it blindsided all the companies, including Exxon, which is a master at looking at game changers longer term. And that was fracking. Nobody saw fracking coming. And nobody saw the effect that fracking would have. And what has happened is that fracking did 2 things. Number one, it was much cheaper than exploring out in the deep blue sea. And the second thing is, whereas projects in the oil industry usually take 8 to 10 years to bring to fruition, you can do that with fracking in 6 months. So, and that's why I tell lots of people who think that the prices are going to go up again anytime soon, forget it. Because what's going to happen is that if prices move up, today it's around 45, 46. If prices move up to $60 a barrel, you're going to see an explosion of fracking again. You're going to see a wave of crude and prices are going to collapse again. So we are going to be bound between $45 and $60 a barrel for a long, long time. And by the way, that is terrible for people who are pushing alternate energies like solar and wind. And I will make a political announcement here. In order for solar to be competitive with oil, oil would have to be $300 a barrel. And I don't think we're going to see that. Certainly not in my lifetime. Maybe some of you young folks may be able to see it, but it's not going to happen. But anyhow, the guys who are going to get hurt the most are going to be U.S. refineries, because they prepare for the heavy crude, and if they take the heavy crude away, they're going to have to hustle. Now, there are two places where they can get heavy crude: Mexico with Maya, and Canadian crude, heavy Canadian crude from the tar sands. And that was what I told, but they only gave me 30 seconds. So now you know the rest of the story.
¿Qué programa? ¿Quién te
Just
entrevistó?
one last thing that came to
¿Quién
mind. The
Telemundo?
Catholic Young Professionals will be meeting again August 7th, and we confirmed Dr. Rolando de Leon, who will be presenting on August 7th to the Catholic Young Professional Group. So Monday, August 7th, anybody available to be, we'd have you. And those who want to stay for the Gonzaga group, we can meet downstairs, and I have the catechism for business leaders.